it do, everybody? It's your boy King Crowder back again with another edition of History That You May Not Know and History That Is Not Taught for Show. This time, I want to go all the way over to Paris, France to discover and talk about a music pioneer who inspired some of the greatest musical artists that we hear about to this day. And this brother's name is Joseph Bellon de Santo George. People do not know that he is widely celebrated as one of the most accomplished musicians of his time. He was known as a Paris during the pre-revolutionary period. He was also superb as an athlete and a man of arms. Among his fences, St. George was considered the finest swordsman in Europe, possessing extraordinary speed, flexibility, and grace, which he also imbalanced in his violinist skills. But the combination of artist, athlete, and a man of action, he also began to give out during the military period to lead people in the history of music and several less extraordinary events. George was the son of Pierre de Boulogne, a wealthy colonist and a majority in the Lionsville regime in Guadeloupe. According to position, Pierre de Boulogne, George's elder brother, made in 1769, can trace back his descendancy and nobility to the ancient House of Bourbon. For those who do not know, that is a European royalty. This black African of African descent traced his legacy and royalty to the domain of his family owned. The reason why this brother was so pronounced, and I think he was really should be inspired in what he did, he is the one that changed and revolutionized how we use the violin and how we transform music as a whole. He was not so great in reading the music, but he did it completely by feeling, and going off beat. His composition skills were death-defying, extremely fast movements that could not be replicated by no matter the musical artist. He was known as the top violinist at this time. However, he revolutionized how you hold it, how you played, and how people sung when he played his instrument. He was such a technician of these instruments that he revolutionized how they did it. They're technically savvy and basically rewrote all of the musicians' history around this time. We all must acknowledge that racism was a huge component to this gentleman and his uprising, but he still overachieved and perceived higher than expectation. This guy is a music pioneer on the heights of all musicians that we referenced back in the day. We must understand that he took the composition post here to lower and allow movements just due to his technical skills. The Pierre de Boulogne is a loyal elitist in the European market due to his ancestry. This gentleman should be highlighted because he revolutionized the music industry to taps and sounds that we hear and utilize to this day. De Boulogne, if you are a musical head, you must thank this gentleman for allowing the touching of instruments, to the woodworking of it, to the composure, and how you can play it in long form of fashion. I want to give this gentleman his flowers because I learned about him in the last 2 years, and it was truly inspirational to learn how he pivoted French, Italian, and the composition music to fit around violinists having a more major impact. It's your boy King Crowder, checking back out again with something you may not know. This one coming around the globe. But I think it's important, not just about a black person and what they did, but about how someone innovated in the force of distant change. You must understand, he had major impact how he was suffering. Check it out.